Hello, welcome back to Generation Gap Reacts. In this video, we are reacting to CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival, singing Suzie Q.
CCR was one of my favorite bands when I was a little girl. One of my favorites. I love them. I remember listening to them walking home from school with my little radio.
How cute. What a great band to listen to when you were a little kid.
Oh yeah, definitely. They used to
Was
come
that
on.
normal for like a little girl to listen to them?
I think I was about 11, maybe 12, 13 when I had that long walk through the snow in my bare feet. Listening.
Yeah, in your bare feet, huh?
Just kidding. That's what
It was 11 miles to school, right?
That's what Grandpa used to say.
I know.
Anyhow, I just, you know how you have certain memories of your little radio?
Yeah.
CCR was one of my memories.
Well, that's great.
But I remember specifically Down on the Corner.
Oh, okay.
Which is another great song. But Suzie Q.
I was going to say, well, we're doing Suzie Q, Mom.
Which is
not Down on the Corner.
Just another great song.
All right, well, let's get started.
Okay.
This is just such a good song. How can you not start grooving? I mean, you can like any style of music and hear a CCR song and like it. You can't not like CCR.
This one definitely makes me feel like getting up and dancing.
Yeah, and I always imagine myself that I'm Suzie Q and he's singing to me and I feel a little sassy, like he likes the way I walk, he likes the way I talk. I'm like, that's right. And I feel a little sassy when I'm listening to this song. And they're just kind of the perfect blend of like rock and bluesy and kind of folksy country but rock, and they're just in their kind of own little category, and they sound very, I would say, not from California. They sound like Southern or Louisiana Bayou kind of sound, but they're from California. So I just think that that's really cool that they were able to actually capture that kind of country rock sound.
I think you're correct in that that's what a lot of people used to think.
Yeah, that they're from
the South.
The South,
because you know they're known for their bluegrass music.
Yeah,
yeah. So
and even John's voice kind of has that sound to it, which I don't know, it just like adds to it. And I like all the things that they do to the song, which I'll talk about at the end.
Okay.
Say that you're
So what you think, Mom?
Well, you know,
Bringing
I love
back
it.
the memories.
Yes, it does. From seems like 100 years ago. Love them. I think they
You
were.
say that all the time. It wasn't 100 years ago. It was like 99 years ago. How did you know I was gonna say that?
I know you too well. I know you way too well.
Dang, you got me on that one.
You are my daughter, after all.
You know me way too well.
Way too well. When it first starts out, those first few notes, you know what song is coming. And it just automatically puts you in a dancing, good mood.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Miss Suzie Q.
Oh, me? Oh, I guess it's my turn to talk now. John's voice is so good in this song, and he has that growly thing that he does at the end. And this song is so layered that I hope I don't forget anything, but there's the tambourine that gives it that kind of iconic sound. And then, of course, the guitar and the guitar solos throughout the song is amazing. But it's that bass that really, to me, gives the song just that bluesy kind of quality to it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Stop while you're ahead.
Okay, I know, I'm the worst.
No.
Never mind.
And then I also noticed they do some different things to his voice in the song. Like, it almost sounds like he's speaking through not like a microphone, or, you know, they do some kind
Yeah,
of
it's so cool.
thing to his voice mid-song just to give it a different flavor, just to, I don't know. And this song is just so layered, and it's just a really good song.
You know, I think that was taking a huge risk, but it works so well.
Yeah.
It sounds fantastic. I always say fantastic.
You do.
It sounds really great. But it's just
At least
wonderful.
it's not fantastic.
But
so.
it's just wonderful. I just love this song. Just so iconic.
Yeah. And I grew up with CCR, so I definitely was a little girl listening to some CCR. So I can relate to you in that sense, except for me, it wasn't my little radio. It was probably a Walkman or something.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When you were a very little girl, I walked into my dad's house, and he was listening to CCR. And I was totally,
That is
completely shocked. More the bluegrass stuff. But I walked in because my father, all he ever listened to in my childhood was big band music. And he used to complain about music with singers. He liked just the instruments, and big band was his favorite. Mm-hmm. And as he got older, it was Sarah Brightman. But he didn't really have a big range. But one day I walked in and he was listening to CCR. And
That was like the cool band during your time growing up, so that's odd.
it was really odd. Yeah, because he used to complain about rock bands all the time, that all they do is scream. So I walked in and
Playing
I was
on the drums.
I walked in and I was shocked. He was listening to CCR, and I said, "Dad, you're listening to CCR?" And he kind of looked at me like, "Who's CCR?" I don't think he knew them as CCR. He knew them as Creedence Clearwater Revival. So, but he didn't want to seem dumb, so he just like, yeah, you know. And at that
Good
moment,
imitation of Grandpa, I guess.
and at that time I thought, my dad is getting a little cool. I mean, he did used to have a nightclub, but you know, I just figured he listened to that music because it, you know, the nightclub, but he wasn't really passionate about it. He would listen to it on his own, but that particular moment he was listening to it on his own, and I was shocked. And then he's like, "Yeah, I listen to them all the time." Yeah, sure.
Uh-huh.
I think he recently discovered them, and decided that he liked them. I think like I said, the bluegrass, more of the bluegrass stuff.
I guess. I mean, that's really interesting because Grandpa used to complain about any music with a singer in it. Even if it was a really popular band like the Beatles or the Rolling Stones or something like that. Any music with singing, he'll go, "Egad, they're always screaming. All they do is scream. People don't have talent. They just scream." And it's like, they're not even screaming in this song. They're singing, Grandpa. Egad.
You sound just like him. That was his famous words.
Egads.
He was a grumpy old man.
He was so grumpy. So you being like, "Oh, Dad, you're kind of cool." I don't know if I would ever say that he was cool, especially when it came to his music choices, because he was just so judgmental.
Maybe at the moment I thought he was cool because that was probably the coolest thing he's ever done in his entire life, because he was just always a grumpy old man. Like, whoa, he's listening to CCR. Wow, Dad, you're cool.
He's kind of equivalent to the "get off my lawn" kind of man, but it was just, "Egad, young people these days." Which is so funny because people your generation will say, "Oh, young people these days," talking about my generation. But Grandpa's generation would say that about your generation. So I feel that every older generation, whatever the next generation, the parent generation of the current generation, thinks that they're, "Oh, these youngins these days." No respect. But youngins. It's so funny because Grandpa would say that about your generation, which you're the baby boomer generation. And even he would talk about people your age, like you were so young. You were probably in your 40s back then. And he would talk about people your age. And, "Oh, they just don't have any respect. These youngins." Egads.
I tried very hard not to be anything like my father.
No, you're definitely not grumpy. Anyways, CCR, yay! Suzie Q, such a good song. Okay, well, thank you so much to listening to us ramble on. Egads, thank you for still being here. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next video.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.